right? It's backwards. Hmm. Well, I'm not sure how to flip this one.
That's what I'm trying to do too. Oh, there, I found it.
How'd you do it?
Top right.
Top right for me is an X. Okay, that is right. But
Lucy. Lucy. Okay. She's ready. How does that look? Can you tell? I can't.
I can't. I cannot.
I can.
Well, we're 1 minute away from 6 o'clock. We might have to go live without her here real quick.
That's fine.
Oh, it's a lot more towards me than you. Oh, it's a lot more towards me than you. All right, so we'll just move it a little bit towards you, and we'll be fine with that. You should be good. Oh, it's a lot more towards me than you. It's a lot more towards me than you. It's a lot more towards me than you. That'll work.
What is that?
All right, you ready?
Yeah. I can't really see mine.
Moon Club Podcast number 133 is live. Why don't you go ahead and hit me with that J Mecca, son? You got it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can run on for a long time, run on for a long time, run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta put you down. 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 Don't tell that long-tongue liar. Don't tell that midnight rider. Tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter. Tell him the God's gonna cut him down. Tell him the God's gonna cut him down. Well, my goodness gracious, let me tell you the news. My head's been wet with the midnight dew. I've been down on bended knee, talking to the man from Galilee. He spoke to me in a voice so sweet. I thought I heard the shuffle of angels' feet. He called my name and my heart stood still when he said, Jay, go to my will. Don't tell that long-tongue liar. Don't tell that midnight rider. Tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter. Tell him the God's gonna put him down. You can run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Don't say you gotta put you down. You better throw your rock and hide your hand. Working in the dark against your fellow man. But as sure as God made black and white, what's done in the dark will be brought to the light. You can run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta let you down. Don't tell that long-tongue liar. Don't tell that midnight rider. Tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter. Tell him the God's gonna let you down. Tell him the God's gonna let you down. Run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Yeah, you can never touch this, it's just too much substance. I broke through the chains of the way with the cufflinks. You can make it seem, but to me, it's nothing. You never match what a breakthrough in fashion. I going on, dog? What you talking about? I'd rather be penniless, making plenty sense. You living in a glass house, high rent, solo. I do it on my own, no YOLO. I never get cut. Kodo for sure though. Pardon me, my God, calling on them all. Yes, y'all, I gotta tell them all. You can run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta put you down. Sooner or later, gotta put you down. Sooner or later, gotta put you down.
Looks pretty good from
Yeah.
but that's from my phone.
Don't
Yeah.
tell that midnight rider. Tell the rest that he got leather. Backfire. Tell him the guy's gonna put you down. Tell him the guy's gonna cut you down.
Peace. And now, ladies and gentlemen, live from MJ's Loft or Julie's apartment, this is the Moon Club podcast with AJ and MJ. The Moon Club will talk about anything under the moon. No subject will ever be taboo. Never, 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 ever.
Currently, we're waiting on Jenny Bratcher and the mandolin player. Hopefully they'll be here any second. But how about I tell you about the state of the moon?
Hit me with the state of the moon.
It's a big one, lunatic. Oh, I gotta say, there's a lot of dreams and those it's big. It's a big moon tonight, people. One of the biggest of the year. Actually, it is the biggest moon of the year. It's full. It's 100%. It's the super moon, the blood, no, not blood, but the full winter
Snow moon.
Also known as the hunger moon, because
Snow moon.
because food is so scarce this time of the year. It's 363,507 kilometers from the Earth, and that breaks down to about 225,000 miles.
For some people.
15 days old. That's the state of the moon.
All right, so we will be joined shortly by Jenny Bratcher and her mandolin player. Does the mandolin player have a name?
I think Bob, maybe?
Okay.
I'm not sure, though. I saw it once.
They said they would be here about, what, 5:40, you said? It wasn't 6:40, was it?
No. I think one of them's outside right now waiting on the other one.
All right. So, while we're waiting for them, we had...
You gonna do a video with the full moon stuff?
Yep. I'll just wait for this to finish because I like this groove.
Yeah. Pretty badass.
All right. So, this is actually WTSP. This is a local broadcast. We were looking for something to inform the people about what the snow moon was, and everything that described the snow moon was like just so like down key. Like you should get excited about this. So this guy actually gets a little excited. So we're like, yeah, it's a local news broadcast, but it's the best. He explains it better than anybody.
I see palm trees there.
Tampa Bay.
Tampa?
Yeah, Tampa Bay, Florida.
Okay, so it's not really that local.
Well, no, it's a local broadcast, and it's not a national broadcast, so it's local. It's
talking about the full moon, which actually occurs tomorrow
Right.
morning. The full snow moon is actually also a super moon.
All
So
right.
the super snow moon is coming to a sky near you. Actually peaks tomorrow morning, 10:53. The reason it's called the snow moon is because for the rest of the country is when they typically get the most amount of snow in the entire year. The moon has already set this morning. It will rise again later this evening at 5:30, but tomorrow morning, get up and take a look at it when you're joining us for Brightside, because it will be setting at 7:10 tomorrow morning. But here's the super part of it, not just the snow part, but the super part of the moon. So the moon orbits around the Earth. We know this, right? It's not a perfect orbit. It's a little bit of an elliptical orbit. So that means at a certain point in its orbit around Earth, it's closer than any other point in its orbit. And that's what we call perigee. And that is what's called the super moon. When you have a full moon and perigee occurring at the same time, that creates the supermoon. There's actually the opposite end of it, an apogee. If you have a full moon and apogee, that would be a micromoon. But we've got the supermoon happening tonight into tomorrow morning. When you have a supermoon, it is 7% larger and about 15% brighter. So you will notice it in the sky. The only thing that would prevent you from seeing it is a little bit of cloud cover. We're going to have some in and out of the area over the next few days.
All right, so very effective explanation of the super snow moon.
Yeah.
And it's at the perigee, which is the closest point to the Earth.
Yeah, what's the furthest?
Apogee.
Apogee, yeah.
Apogee. Which is still a cool looking moon. Just, if I can get 7% bigger and 15% brighter, yeah, give me that moon.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to say no to the apogee full moon. That would be foolish.
But who wants?
I'll say yes to the apogee full moon, but I'll say yes to the perigee full moon.
Right.
Double yes.
Are you sure you don't have those reversed?
Perigee is closest, apogee is furthest.
Okay, cool.
Well, we'll just call it super full snow moon.
Right.
Super full snow moon. If you don't know, you better go ask somebody.
Right.
Yep. All right, so I've got this 1 minute video, 1 minute and 10 seconds called Belief.
Okay.
And we'll play this while we're waiting for that Falcon girl and her mandolin player.
Cool.
The first step before anybody else in the world believes it is you have to believe it. There's no reason to have a plan B because it distracts from plan A. I think that.
Wait, what is this?
There's a certain
I don't know.
delusional
Commercial?
that all successful people have to have. You have to believe that something different than what has happened
That's Will Smith's voice, isn't it?
for the last 50 million years of history. You have to believe that something different can happen.
This looks like John Wick or something.
Confucius said, he who says he can and he who says he can't
They're both right.
usually right.
Okay, I thought that would be a lot better than it was.
What were you trying to play there?
That's what I was trying to play. I just had that loaded up in case
okay.
in case the Falcon girl and the mandolin player were late. So
Will Smith has got a new I don't know. I guess it's been around for about a year, but people are talking about it now. It's called One Crazy Rock or something.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all about the planet, and it's an amazing series on Netflix right now.
Yeah, well, he's doing a lot of stuff on Netflix. You know what? We've talked on this podcast a lot of times about the Mandela effect, right?
Yeah.
And by the way, I was in Arizona this past weekend.
Correct.
And me and Doug started discussing something that, and I think we brought it up on this podcast before, but in a movie Pulp Fiction, everybody remembers when Samuel Jackson is in the apartment with the kids, and he says,
"Look at the big brain on Brad."
Right. He's like, you know what they call a quarter pounder in France?
Royale with cheese.
He's like, you know why they call it that? And Brett's like,
because the metric system.
I don't know, probably because of the metric system. And he says, look at the big brain on
Brad.
But he doesn't say that.
He says Brett.
The character's name is Brett.
Yeah.
And Doug was like, why is that? I'm like, I would think it's because everybody hears Brad, but he said Brett.
Yeah, that's what it is for sure.
And it's because I think it's the way Samuel Jackson talks. It's like why we love Samuel Jackson is because he's got a cadence about him and he says things a certain way.
Yeah.
So if you say, look at the big brain on Brett.
Yeah.
Right?
Brett, yeah.
Brett, right?
Yeah.
But everybody remembers, look at the big brain on Brad. We used to even say that to our buddy Brad Pelhank. Remember him? We'd always say, look at the big brain on Brad.
But that movie came after our hanging out with Pelhank, I think. What year was that? Like 94?
Yeah, 94.
Okay.
Yeah, I was still hanging out with those guys back then.
Okay.
But anyway, there were more Mandela effects I want to talk about, but that's not what this podcast is about.
You want to do Mandela effects?
You want to do that? Or you want me to break down my Phoenix trip?
Yeah, you can break down your. Oh yeah, I love the story about your Phoenix trip.
Okay, so went out to Phoenix, circled on the calendar. UFC Phoenix. UFC is going to be in Phoenix Sunday night. What is it? February 17th.
Uh-huh.
And Ngannou and Cain Velasquez are fighting. So I'm like, fuck yeah, circle that on my calendar. I called Doug as soon as it was announced. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna try to get out there. Let's see if we can figure it out. And Doug's like, okay, cool. I'll check with work and everything and see how it's going. I'll call Scott. see if Scott can get out there. Cool. All right. So circle that on my calendar. I'm trying to figure it out, trying to figure out how to do it. Book the flights. The flights aren't that bad. Hey, Doug was like, hey, if you get a flight out here, since it's going to cost you quite a lot of money, it was, it wasn't cheap. But if you can do it, I'll buy the tickets for the UFC for the three of us. I'm like, cool, done. So got the tickets. We went out there. I left Friday morning early, man. I was up and out of here like 3:30.
Right.
Before 4 o'clock, I was out of here. So get to the airport, fly to Chicago, and then from Chicago into Sky Harbor. Doug picked me up, and Scott didn't get there until Saturday morning. So we hung out Friday night. We went out with his friend, played darts, and then Saturday we got up, went and scooped Scott up at the airport, and or no, we didn't. we made, and this I should have gone to pick up Scott, but I was out swimming. I came back in because there's a pool, a heated pool right outside his apartment.
Okay.
Came back in, like Scott was supposed to be landing around 7, so I texted him like, "Hey, do you need me to come pick you up?" Because Doug's still sleeping. I'm like, "I'll just take his keys and come pick you up." And he's like, "I actually just getting in a cab," and Doug said it'll probably be like $10, but Doug lives like 20 miles south of the airport, so it costs him like $50 to get there.
Right.
So like right away when he gets there, he's like, "Man, it was a $50 cab ride, Doug. You don't say it'd be like $10." And Doug's like, "I don't know. I've never taken a cab." I was like, I was ready to go get him. Like, so
Right.
we were kind of like, I don't know. It was kind of funny, but it's not like Scott needs to worry about $50. Scott makes a lot of money, but
Yeah.
okay, so
That's Scott Kennedy, by the way.
Scott Kennedy, the man Kennedy. So Saturday night, we hang out. We find another friend of his, Mike, and we go to the Sand. What's it called? The Sand Club or something like that?
I don't know, but you
And
should
then-
get that picture to pop up so you can show people that you're not full of shit. When
Oh,
you get to
okay.
the end of the story.
Yeah. I'll do that. And then we Doug and Mike we'll leave what happened at the end of Saturday night off. We went to a strip club, whatever. Those guys act like fools, but okay. And then so Sunday we get up, and the UFC is going to be Sunday night. So there's this place called Top Golf that Doug really wanted to go to. By the way, we tried to go there Saturday night. It was like they're like, yeah, it's cool, 4-hour wait, and we're like, what? They're like, yeah, the 4 hour, we'll get you in 4 hours. So that's when we went to the Sand place. So we got up Sunday early and we went, and it's basically like a little competition. They have it's like a driving range, right? Picture a driving range, but they have different targets you can hit for different amount of points,
Yeah.
and you just kind of like you can chip or you can drive and you can try to get different points. He's a better golfer than both of us, but it doesn't matter. We had fun.
Yeah.
So then Sunday night, the UFC comes along. We get to our seats. They're great seats, and it's a stacked fight card. We get there. We missed the early prelims, but we get to the prelims, and the prelims are great. Main event starts. I think it was 7 o'clock there. It's probably 8 o'clock here. It's Arizona.
Hey, what's up? Who? Did
Somebody
you drive
was-
a truck?
Yeah.
He was parked in the
saw
parking
him
lot
out
for a
there,
while.
but, I should have went
You're
down
not
and
live,
find
are
him.
you?
Yeah, we're live.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, we're live. We have to start at 6. It's we're contractually we have to.
Lucy wants to say
I'm
hi.
so sorry.
No, come on
you're
in.
fine.
Story. So I'll finish telling my story if you want to get set up or whatever you need to do.
Sorry, I've been
Oh,
throwing
don't
up
worry
all
about
day because my pain's been so high. Can they all hear this?
Yep.
Hi
Yep.
guys, chronic pain. Love
Hi, chronic pain.
you.
Okay, so I'll finish telling my story. Do you need to get set up or do you need anything?
I thought my guys were up here. They'll be up here in a second, and I'm
Okay.
good.
Yeah, just tell them to come on up and get in. All right, so we go. Great fight. Weren't so good, but the co-main event is James Vick and the redheaded Irish kid. God damn it, I'm gonna forget his name. Doesn't matter. Great fight. And I was telling Doug and Scott, like James Vick got kicked he got a very low leg kick done earlier, and he was having trouble standing on his front leg. And I was telling him, like, yeah, dude, his legs are fucking toast. Like, he can't stand on his front leg. And Doug was like, I didn't see him take a leg kick. I'm like, I can tell right away. He can't stand on his front leg. He's having trouble. And by the way, I met James Vick in 2012 when I went to Las Vegas to the Ultimate Finale because my buddy Chris Tickle was in the Ultimate Finale with him. So I met him after the it was like a 50 stood there and bullshit whatever.
Right.
So after that night, Monday morning we get up and I gotta get on a plane and take off. So it was a pretty quick turnaround. I was only on the ground for like 72 hours in Phoenix, but still a great time. So get to the airport, I see like James Vick, and it makes sense because he's from Texas and I got a connecting flight through Dallas Fort Worth. So I'm like, fuck man, that's James Vick. So he's sitting with his wife and he's waiting to get on, and I'm like, I'm not gonna approach him. I'm not gonna go up to him.
You don't want to be that guy.
I pull my phone out and I zoom in on him and I'm getting ready to take a picture and he looks up at me. He's like, he gives me the head nod. I point at my phone. He's like, yeah. And I'm like, so I take the phone. I give him the thumbs up, right? Without bothering him and his kids or whatever. So, and then I get on the plane and sit in my seat and his wife's coming down the aisle and there's a guy sitting next to me, just an older white guy. And she's like, hey, I'm sitting in the window seat and my husband's got a seat in the back. It's like 28A. And she asked the guy, like, do you mind sitting back there? Because we got our tickets at different times. She's like, this kind of explaining. And he's like, yeah, no, don't explain anything else. I'll take the back seat. You and your husband sit there. Because she's got this adorable little kid with her.
That's her carry-on.
Yeah, her carry-on. So she's telling me, yeah, my husband he's he'll be coming back here, and I'm like, what happened to him? Did he get kicked in the legs a couple times last night? And she's like, kind of funny, yeah. I'm like, yeah, no, I was there. Like I know who your husband is. I met him in 2012 at the Ultimate Finale. So once everybody boards and he comes on, he's grabbing each. If you watch the fight, dude, Paul Felder's the other guy's name, kicked the shit out of his legs. So he's coming back, and he starts sitting down, and after he sits down, the plane's getting ready to board, and I'm like, hey, by the way, James Vick, I actually met you. I started saying this. I met you in Vegas in 2012, the Ultimate Finale. He's like, yeah, I know. You're Tickle's buddy, right? You're like Ray J.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what?
I'm Ray J.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Like if I'm gonna get mixed up with any of the J names, I'll take Ray J. But so anyway, we hit it off right away, and we're sitting there talking. And
the guy you went to see fight, and
yeah, it's
cool
true. It's true, and I wouldn't say he's the reason I went there to see fight. I mean, he's definitely. I like to see him fight, and I think he's a great fighter. But
come on in, guys.
Okay.
MJ was telling a story about the UFC.
So
saw a fight in Arizona.
After we talked for about a half an hour, I said to him and his wife and their adorable baby, I'm like, hey, I hate to be a fanboy, but can I take a selfie? And they're like, shit, yeah, go ahead and take one. So I did, and I'm gonna pull that up right now. So that's me sitting next to James Vick, his lovely wife, and I wish I would have got a little bit better picture of James Jr. because he looks just like James Vick.
That's super cool.
Yeah. So that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. Have a seat. Go ahead and sit down. I'm MJ, by the way. Kevin, are you the man?
Friend who takes pictures for him, and
cool.
So it's,
you don't play any musical instrument?
So are they out there getting tuned up?
Andy is.
Okay, so if we have them two sit here, why don't we get another chair for him over there right together?
Well, I can
Are you Andy? Nice to meet you. We are live, by the way. We're broadcasting worldwide on the internet.
Awesome, nice to meet you, man.
So
and that's Lucille.
That's Lucy. Lucy's gonna be Her head itself is about 50 pounds.
Her head's the size of my dog.
Yeah.
What kind of dog you got?
It's a blue healer, man.
A blue healer. MJ
Aw.
just lost his blue healer.
That's my blue healer right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A great dog.
He turned 15 in November, and we had him put down 2 weeks ago Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I got the call from I got to go pick the stuff up at the vet.
Lucy, up over here.
She's kind of saying hi to everybody.
Good show your
If
dog.
it don't
Austin.
bother you, she's not bothering me.
Oh, you ain't bothering me.
What's up, Susan Murata?
Marota?
And Alex Bito's watching. Alex is gonna come by too because he doesn't work tonight. That never happens. So. And what's up, Roy Rambo?
Is he gonna stop by the Loft of Dreams?
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be cool. So are we? Jenny, you about ready? Oh, okay. Okay. Well, anyway, okay. So that's my story about the UFC. Are we?
I just
If
said
it-
that there. Sorry.
If it doesn't bother you to do that on video, it doesn't bother me, but because that's just it could be anything in there. It doesn't matter, right?
Center stage left, Jenny B.
Hey,
in the house.
guys.
Jenny B, aka that Fulkin girl. Am I saying it right?
Yep.
All right.
Jenny B. Hi, guys.
Yeah, you guys should call.
That's a good idea. I like it.
So is there enough room for you right there?
Oh, yeah. You good?
Oh, yeah.
Should we start off with a song? You want to like kind of talk for a little bit, shoot the shit? It's your world. We're just living in it. What do you want to do?
Oh, man. I don't know. I've never done a podcast before.
Yeah, me neither. Apparently.
There's no sex and drugs for Ian. I'm in looking for mandolin strings in Boston.
Spinal Tap? Yeah.
All right, so let's do this. Tell me about. So, are you two together? You're a musical duo, right? Are you a couple also? Just instrumentally?
No.
Just
I
hanging out?
got a husband. Andrew just makes me sound good.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been playing in about 2 years now.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So, how did you guys meet?
You know, Andrew, I started doing folk music, my own music. I sang opera and musical theater for a long time. But, you know, I met people and liked them and felt their energies. And when I got good enough to start playing with people, there was, you know, a list of folks in my head.
Right.
And he was on that list. And when he freed up, you bet I called it.
Now, do you play out at all, like in bars, restaurants, taverns, small venues, big venues, arenas? What do you do?
We haven't done the arenas yet.
No, we're working on that. No. We just played at Cadillac Jack's, February 8th, and that was really nice.
Oh, I like that
down
place,
here. Houdini's in town, but we travel a lot. We go to Wisconsin quite a bit. Go to,
Yeah, festivals in the summer more.
Okay.
yeah, we play a lot more in the summer than in the winter.
Okay.
Travel from about May to September.
Cool.
And,
And is it like contemporary, modern music?
It's folk.
Folk. I'm not familiar. Let's start with that. What is folk?
Six-string
Like,
music.
Everybody says like, is it Bob Dylan is a folk singer? Right. That's the one most people know. I'm a bigger Jacob Dylan fan myself.
Right.
But
yeah, I think, I don't know. I think that I sing more than just folk.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of influences. So, you know, when you come see a show, it goes from jazzy to bluesy to a little bit of rockabilly,
Yeah.
old school, like 40s, 50s rock and roll. Andrew's definitely an amazing bluegrass picker, but he's light as his fingers move so fast. He can make anything just sound so full. Yeah. But yeah, somebody the other day said, you know, we can't book you because we don't book folk singers. I said, you know, I think I've grown a little bit. We're a little bit more than folk music. I don't really know the definition of folk music. Our friend Kevin might know.
I think Gordon Lightfoot, Jim Croce, that's who I think when I think folk music.
you think Gordon Lightfoot is folk?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the
The record of the Ella
hits that
Fitzgerald.
pop in your head. Well, that I think meets every
The
material.
the Ella Fitzgerald.
The Edna Fitzgerald.
Ella
Yeah.
Fitzgerald. I got told once I was a mix between Ella Fitzgerald and Loretta Lynn, which I thought was a really crazy marriage. But
Yeah.
I think that just shows like the vast kind
Yeah,
of music
I
that
think
we
that's a
play.
compliment for sure.
It gets boring to play the same kind of music for 3 hours.
Oh yeah.
I would have said Sarah Brightman and Janis Joplin.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah.
That's nice. Thanks.
All right. Well,
In some ways, folk is kind of any singer-songwriter that does it, that's hard to stuff into this or that category.
Yeah.
okay. So if you don't fit anywhere else, you're folk.
Kind of.
All right. Cool.
Okay.
Us unconformist folkers.
All right.
Yeah.
It's like folk. Everything else, we're folk.
Yeah. Meet the folkers.
Yep. I actually had that sticker of my artist friend, John Griffin. Check him out if you have never
Are you
heard of
gonna-
him.
do something from Crickets and Honey, or have you got newer stuff since your album that came out in 2018?
Oh, we've got a ton of stuff.
Yeah?
All kinds of fun stuff. Crickets and Honey, we actually
Yeah.
recorded out at Kevin Sherp. He's sitting to the right of all of us. If you can't see him, if you're watching.
I like the was it Sweet Memories? The one talks about dive bombing.
Sweet Moments actually.
Sweet Moments. Yeah. I
Isn't
like that.
on this Crickets and Honey was just supposed to be a little tiny EP,
Yeah.
and Andrew and I recorded it out at Kevin's in Saybrook under the stars. A friend of ours, Tommy Harmon, came out and set up all of his
Oh, really?
gear that he records live shows with.
That's cool that you
Yeah.
record the album underneath the stars.
Yeah, if you listen to the album, you'll actually hear the crickets. And,
Really? That's so cool.
Beautiful, beautiful place. But it was just supposed to be a little tiny album, and it ended up, containing I think 6 or 8 songs. But we've got a whole album that we're ready to go into the studio with. But the studio takes a lot of time, and
Yeah.
hasn't really been my friend up to this point yet. So.
Well, have you ever played live on a podcast before?
No, I actually told AJ the other day that I just recently listened to my first podcast coming back from a gig I played about 7 hours away in Missouri, near Joplin. I listened to some podcasts about health, so the health things that I was dealing with. But that's the first time I listened to a podcast, so
Yeah.
I was kind of
You can search
excited.
anything out and find a podcast about it.
Yeah, I found that out
That's
after I
like-
started looking around after you guys got a hold
I
of me.
call it Netflix for the ear holes.
Oh yeah, there we go.
You know?
Yeah.
Nobody else
How
calls
long have you
it
guys been
that.
doing this?
This is 133, and there's 1 a week, so 133 weeks.
Okay.
That's a little over about 2.5 years.
Yeah, I think when I did the math, I think if we lined up each podcast back to back, we played for over 1,000 years.
Makes sense.
I
yeah.
might have missed a comma or dropped in a few zeros or something, but I'm pretty sure it checked out. I did it on my phone.
All right, so we were to have you jump in and do a song real quick. Are you ready to go? Do you need any setup time, or do you need
No,
to
we
get
can just grab my guitar.
that dog out of your way? Or?
Yeah, but she's definitely
I
stealing
think,
some
nah,
love.
she's good.
I think she's bringing good energy to it.
Okay.
She is. She might be a good footrest. Might be on a
It's
tube.
her place.
All right.
Right.
You're right. It is. It's a 230-pound dog. She runs the place.
Oh, might be out of tune. I was in Kentucky a few weeks ago.
All right. So what are we starting off with?
I don't know. What do you want to hear? You were talking about dive bombing, but Sweet Moments actually isn't on the album, and I do that song, and I think it's like 8 minutes long.
Yeah.
Might be just a little bit long for a podcast.
Right? Well, play whatever you want. All we got is time.
Let's play a song.
Well, see, I
With words
asked
and
Andrew what
stuff.
song
What do
to
you guys
play,
feeling?
and that's what he says.
It's like, what do you want to eat? I don't know. What do you want to eat? It's like, there's no
Do you have
answer.
anything that references or talks about the moon?
Oh yeah, we were talking about that. It's a full moon tonight. Yeah.
It is a full
Snow moon.
super full snow moon.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
And do you want to dim the lights? Do you like it like this? Like your world where it's living
Are
in?
we that ugly?
No, but
I'm
we're
gonna
gonna make
tune.
it work out.
I actually wrote this song about a good friend of mine after he passed away, and found out that he wasn't having a funeral. And I thought that, he doesn't need a funeral. So instead he got a song. Time up now, darling. Time up those laces, straighten up now, darling. Sober, stone faces, lighten up now, darling. It will all find its place, and we'll be dimpled and wide-eyed under the moon come the morning. Like a thief in the night, getting carried away. Like a thief in the night, bring back the light of day. Like a thief in the night, getting carried away. Like a thief in the night, bring back the light of day. And wipe these hands clean of dirt and the shadows of those pretty posies. And the shadows of those pretty posies. He was born as a little baby born to a sad mama's son. No, she did never think to offer him. She was born to a loaded gun. That's right. He was robbed of his life while he was up in that high chair. Yes, he left him alone, way all alone up there, and then he died alone, all alone down there. All of this happened before the sunshine of the morning. Oh, I've seen so many sad faces, and yes, I've seen my share of sad faces. I've seen my share of bad faces, and then how damn I've been my share of bad faces. I said, how damn girl, if I don't live, I've just got nothing out of the hole. a thief in the night, he's been carried away like a thief in the night. Bring back the light of day, like a thief in the night, he's been carried away like a thief in the night. Bring back the light of day and wipe these hands, clean the dirt in the shadows of those pretty, pretty posies. And the shadows of those pretty, pretty posies. Posies, posies, posies. Ho, 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 ho!
I am speechless.
All right.
Okay, that was amazing. First of all,
Thank
So,
you. That's for my friend Ty. Stay away from hard drugs, folks.
yeah. So your friend Ty wrote that song, or
It was
is it
about
dedicated
him?
to him, or?
No, my friend Ty actually, he was born to a drug-addicted mama. And one of the first memories he has, probably because it was so traumatic, was his mom ODing and passing out on the floor when he was about 2, and he was stuck in the high chair for about 18 hours until his grandma or aunt came through and broke the window and got him out. But Ty ended up suffering a drug addiction himself. And after many, many, many long tries to get to the good side, he passed away on the Salvation Army floor just about 2 blocks down from here.
Wow.
And they didn't have a funeral for him. You know, drug addiction really wrecks families and lives. And
I can tell you some stories, yeah.
but,
So,
I thought he
respect
needed
Ty?
to be remembered. So that's how he was remembered.
With a song.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What a great tribute.
Thank you. I think he'd have liked it.
Yeah. So, wow, I really am speechless. Like that blew me away. I was like ready for you guys to come in and play, but I wasn't really like, I wasn't ready to be like blown away by like
Right.
the sound of just like 2 of you picking, and then your voice, like it's just like,
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I just
Great
love
voice.
doing it.
She's been doing this since she was a baby, right? Like since you were like 3 or 4 years old. You're.
Yeah, I started singing at church, and then I started singing at the theater, and
Yeah.
did some
Didn't
opera, and
sorry, didn't mean to.
No, you're
Didn't you
fine.
grow up right around here?
I did. I grew up in Normal, born and raised. Yeah,
But in like '95, she actually lived over here in McClellan and went to Hairmasters
I
right there.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In 90.
Was it 94, 95,
That was
96?
a long time ago. My daughter
Yeah.
was like maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I'm McClellan here.
McClellan, right over there. I thought if I moved into the apartment across the street from the school, because I went to go
Hairmasters.
do theater in Chicago, and then
Yeah.
my daughter got really sick, but I was working in professional dinner theater and had to come home, and I had to, you know, do the right thing, and so I went to beauty school, and I was good at it, but it wasn't my calling.
Right.
So I thought, if I could just get across the street, I'll get up and I can
Be on time.
drag myself there, and it didn't work. I just still didn't want to be there.
Yeah, right.
But I did that for about, my dad would always say, Jenny, be proud of your accomplishments, and your career is something to really hold on to and be proud of. And I did not get that until I got really sick and then could not stand on my feet and do hair 9 hours a day anymore. And you sometimes don't appreciate what you got and what you can do until you can't do it anymore.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true,
So-
yeah.
But,
So I'm just trying to figure this out. So you said an apartment across from here. Now, Hairmasters is right over there. So where's the
Literally
apartment?
across the street, the one with the big pine trees. It
It's
shares
an
the
attic
parking
apartment.
lot. Yeah, I remember that. It
Okay.
shares the parking lot with Family Dollar now.
Cabinet
Or Dollar
things.
General.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So is it the one with the garage in the back and like the loft
Yes.
apartment?
Yeah. I think
Okay.
the guy that owns it's a contractor.
It might have changed hands.
The
a
one with the
couple
garage in the back
times.
is on the corner. This is the one next door, the one that she lived in.
All I know
It's
is
not on the corner.
it was before I was smart enough, and I don't know how my dad's a heating and cooling contractor in town here, but I didn't think to look for air conditioning as a, amenity.
Yeah.
And,
So they get pretty hot over there?
Oh, I think one summer, all my candles melted and my cat went into heat stroke.
You know what? I remember around that time we had
windows, you know?
we had one heck of a hot summer around
Like
then.
long narrow attic,
Yeah.
with 2 windows.
Oh.
We have hot summers every summer.
True
I
that.
think we'd get used to it and stop
I bet if we
complaining.
look back though, that one was extra hot.
I'm craving that hot summer right now.
Yeah. And be able to cope with it, right? Yeah, I missed that. I missed.
Get outside.
Yeah.
I just came back from Arizona, and my friend that lives out there, I keep asking, because he complains about it every summer. He's like, oh, it sucks, whatever. I'm like, well, why do you live out there? And I figured it out, because I was just there, and like, it's beautiful there now. Like, even, he said it was really, really cold. Like, I'm walking around, I'm like,
Thank
I
God.
got tears around, I'm like, it's 60 degrees out, dude, come on.
Yeah.
I remember when
It's a nice fall day.
You know, when I first moved to Florida, it was like 68 degrees out. One night when I went there, we went to the fair, and people had on like winter jackets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm walking around with a white beater, you know. I have 3 foot of snow behind.
I got to Arizona Friday, and I think it was 52 degrees, and I'm like, I'm gonna go jump in your pool. He's like, you can't jump in the pool, it's too cold. I'm like, it was 9 degrees when I left this
Yeah.
morning. Like, I'm getting in that fucking pool.
My snot was freezing. This feels good.
And yeah, it was cold, but I'm like, oh yeah, it feels good, man. It feels
Convince
good.
yourself. Yeah, we were just in Savannah, Georgia, and everything was so cheap. I shouldn't tell anyone. They'll make off season. It's not off seasons anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like 60s, 70s, rainy, and everyone's like, it's so gross, it's so cold out. I'm like, it's awesome here.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't stop walking and eating. We walked and ate our way through Savannah.
Awesome.
There was a lot of cool speakeasies in Savannah.
Yeah.
And we've got a guy, Brian, that plays keys with us every now and then, but he likes ragtime. He's playing down at the speakeasy in town here. So I found that. Some of the
Where's the
original ones.
speakeasy in town?
The old Lancaster.
Come in! I think it might be Marcus
Someone
Lamb
did the
or
podcast.
Alex Pizza. Where's the pizza when I come by and meet you?
Marcus Lamb, I know Marcus Lamb.
What's that called? Brian plays that?
Pickles and bakery or bakery and pickles.
What's up, Marcus?
Pull you up
Hi
over here.
Marcus, how are you, buddy?
Have a seat right there.
Yeah, I'm
I've
the dog
never
keeps
been on
moving.
a
Podcast?
Me neither, man. How are
Welcome to the
you?
World Wide Web.
Marcus,
Don't
I
give
have
me a
not
hug.
seen,
Good
Marcus,
to see
I have
you,
not
buddy.
seen you in like 10 years, dude.
I saw Marcus. What are you doing, Lucy? Hang on.
She's just smart.
She's so big.
She's like, I gotta check stuff out, that's my job.
She makes me feel very skinny.
No, I've
Only
known
two
you
women in the
guys
room and I'm smaller.
through like whatever.
Dude, we go back to the backwards eat with Firefly.
Right,
The
but
snappers
even
sleep?
before
Yeah,
that,
Firefly.
like
Listen,
just
listen up.
like knowing
No.
each other through like different people around
Yeah.
town and whatever,
Yeah.
and
You hang around with,
Can you make Lucy move? She's pushing me
Lucy,
off.
Austin, make your dog move.
Lucy,
I've
come!
known you guys for like ever.
Yeah, since we were in grade school.
And then it's funny because, all right, now you guys got this building and like up here and whatever. I used to run a pizza place.
Dude, I worked there too,
That-
remember?
Was it down
Well,
there?
I was there when it was upper crust. I was here.
I ran it when it
Before.
was Giovanni.
Okay, Giovanni's. That was like 2 years before, yeah.
I ran that.
Yeah.
I lived there.
Yeah, so this building's sacred
I
to you.
smoked like shit tons of weed in there. like
Oh,
all
you-
kinds of debaucherous
You can
things.
say whatever you want, I just want to know it is going out worldwide on the internet.
I have my
Right.
medical
Okay.
marijuana.
Debauchery.
Okay, you're comfortable.
I wanna hear
I
about
just
the-
feel like I need to
I want
let
to
you
hear
know.
about the debauchery.
Yeah. Okay.
Medical marijuana, that's a good topic.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, you want to talk about that?
That's what we're all talking about. You know what?
I see
In
you guys
2000
and watch you guys, and I've been watching you guys do your podcast.
All right, cool, we appreciate you.
And then I've known you guys for
There you go.
Quite a while.
So, I was Bloomington High School class of 1988.
my brother was. So you're how old now?
I'll be 49 in a week, or 2 weeks.
Well, my brother Michael Lamb is.
Yep, Michael Lance class of 88.
Yeah, my brother.
Okay.
If you-
I know Mike, yeah. Mike used to hang out with Derek Bauer a lot. I think they're electricians together.
A bunch. No, they weren't electricians, but no, my brother.
Oh, that's Lanham. I got the wrong name. Mike, that's Mike Lanham. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, but yeah. You're roughly
You hang around
about.
with Phil Bansell and his brother, right?
Man, I don't even know some of the people my brother used to hang out with.
I definitely know the name Mike Lamb, but I was getting him confused with Mike Lanham. This is
Right.
different.
And he's Marcus Lamb.
Okay. L-A-M-B?
Yes.
Marcus, how do we know each other? Marcus and I have known each other for like 20 years, I think. But I don't know how.
Alex Noonan,
Oh, Alex.
way back when
Monocles or Michael Leos?
Michael Leos.
All right, there we go.
Everything came together with Michael Leos.
It did.
I miss Michael Leos. I mean,
Although-
Tobin's has
All
Michael
the punk
Leos,
rock kids
but
are
It's not the same.
Different.
no.
Not the
It's
same.
different.
It's a good tribute to Michael Leos. It's kind of like a Metallica cover band. It's like it's decent, but it's
Yeah.
still
They're
not
pan
Metallica.
sauce, it doesn't have enough fennel in it.
No.
I totally
mean,
agree.
Yeah.
I
Fennel.
remember when
Fennel
Jerry
Stevens.
Cook, the original owner of Michael Leos, was closing. Well, whatever they sold out
Mhm.
to somebody else. in
Yeah,
a
and there's
normal
a
store.
lot of people have a
And
lot of
they-
stories about what
There
happened, but
There was a whatever the people that bought it, they couldn't handle it. Something went down. One of the
I remember this.
partners bailed out,
yeah.
left the other guy, taxes and whatnot, things
That was
got
it, he
jacked
couldn't afford
up,
the taxes.
and then
That's what I heard too.
Yep.
and then they abandoned it, basically.
Pretty
Right,
much.
walk
And
out.
And then Jerry Cook came back in, the wife,
Yeah.
Mike and Jerry Cook, that started Michael Leos, came and approached Mo Davis. at
Right, I
Tobin's,
heard that.
And I
Marcus, let's play some more music. Let's talk about this later.
I worked there.
Okay.
I worked there.
Wish I
And
could sit
then
on the pizza table.
She saw me as they were having talks for buying like out the like rights to recipes and whatever.
Yeah.
And she was like, Marcus, come help me clean out this place. And like you can direct
The
people
barn
how
over
to
here?
do things. No, they had already gotten rid of
Okay.
the barn. The original and normal.
Okay.
And so like I helped them like clear that out and whatever. And I don't know, it was just really weird.
Well, I know Jerry Cook very well because I have a computer shop, by the way, and I do all of her like computer work, and she actually just retired from State Farm. I think she worked for State Farm like the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And Mike, we just lost Mike probably, I think within the last year, maybe a year and a half.
Really?
Yeah, Mike passed away.
Oh.
He was, I don't know what he had, but I think he was getting a little debilitated. He was like forgetting. I don't want to say. I don't know. But Mike
don't
has passed,
speculate
and
too much,
Jerry
but
is
he's
still around, and she's still doing well. So
She was so
respect for
super-
Michael Leos.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
She was so super cool to me, and she walked in the door when she was talking to that dude, and just saw me. I hadn't seen her in however many years. She said, Marcus. She said, did you think I didn't know about the weed? And I was like, what? And she meant the oregano. You forgot the weed when you sprinkled the
okay.
oregano on the pizzas. I was thinking, you didn't know that I was selling a lot of pot out of your pizza bar?
Right. I know I've heard a lot of stories about that, but usually I would ask that you guys smoke weed outside because I do have my daughter will be here later. I don't like to have the smell lingering, but you guys want to do another song?
Yeah, sure, it's fine. I wish I knew something about pizza now. How about some, talking about this makes me
That's
wish
more.
makes me wish there was Jake's.
Oh, Jake's, remember
Yeah.
Jake's Hot Mama? Italian beef and
Italian
giardiniera
beef.
pizza?
I was glad that I
Oh.
got that when I was like not a vegetarian.
Oh.
You know, I
should
started.
totally stop
1
in
year.
and have a bite at Jake's and then
Man,
just
so
like
good.
move on to like whatever party thing was
Yeah,
going
Jake's
on.
was great. Jake's was great
When,
pizza.
when Jake's closed, I started a blog trying to find the best Italian beef in Bloomington because I was just like missing that Italian beef so much.
Yeah, it's like losing a friend. Jake's Italian beef.
And about 20 pounds over a year.
Yeah.
So is there a name of the duo, or is it just Jenny and you? What's
Jenny B.
You know, I wish I
just-
was in a cool band with a cool name. I've always wanted that so bad. But somehow you land where you're supposed to be. But no, I've tried to get Andrew to like make a new name, and everyone's like, just leave it.
It's
You
her
know?
songs, it might as well be under her name. Why
Yeah.
make it,
Yeah.
something complicated.
Jenny B and Andrew on the Mando.
That's you know what? That's catchy.
Yep, that's what and lately we have people join us here and there, but Andrew's been.
How about this Jenny Bando?
I tell you, I never hung out with a lot of farmers, and since I started
Yeah.
working with
Are
Andrew.
you a farmer? Is that what you do?
Yep.
That's
Yes,
cool
I
as hell.
You need to come deal with the AFR HG.
I
The
know you
Epiphany
would-
Farms Hospitality
Oh,
Group.
gotcha,
because
it was like one of
you
those
could-
initials.
You could totally, you guys
Epiphany
could
Farms, they've got some
totally
great stuff.
play. We just got the award for like the best like I don't know some such badassery.
I hope that is what is on the
I
order.
love it.
Sort of
True badassery.
I was gonna make a joke and say you look like the guy that fixes the air
I've seen
conditioner.
There your Wall
Hat.
Street, yeah.
That
boy,
The
Dave.
Lennox
Lennox,
fan.
oh my God, that's so
Lennox
funny.
fan, yeah.
So, like you guys should totally come like talk to them. You could come
Yeah,
talk to
that'd be
my
fun.
you could come talk to my boss.
I'd like to play in
Greg.
Bloomington or more, so
Well,
you
listen,
sound better
sure.
listening.
We've only got like another 12 minutes, so you guys want to do
We
another
can go
song?
over.
Sure.
I can't.
Okay, I'll keep it going. How's that?
That's all
You
you
can do it
do.
early.
Okay.
My guitarist attitude. This is the song that Austin was talking about. Austin put a video up, and it was from like an old YouTube channel, and I recorded it with the call out to the chords. It's just them to another musician so they could learn it. And I was like, how do you find
1,
that?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right here on the dot. Here we go.
Gotta stop complaining, talking about the pain of life. Think it's devil strange, again, wait for the sun to shine. Here is the time, yeah, they dream about those great sunny nights, shining so bright and so sweet moments set me free. Wash me clean and things will be alright. Let me tell you, you can start this day, yes, you can start it over anytime. Wash me clean, wash me clean. Let me tell you something.
This is for effect.
Got me beating hard, and I see you playing guitar. I got a family, friends that love me. I got a papa so proud of me, cries so slow. It's beautiful, shining light. Oh, shining light, shining bright for everyone to see. Shining light, shining bright. It's not your integrity, you're true. I believe it, it's you. Let me tell you what, you're a little bud, yeah. Oh, we're all little buds. And with the right solid foundation, and with the love and encouragement, we will grow. Yeah, we will grow, we will grow. So you know beautiful, and you thought you could be yours. Beautiful, shining light. Oh yeah, shining light. Shining bright, shining light, shining light, shining bright, shining light. Shining bright, yeah, shining light. It's beautiful, shining light.
Woo!
Sweet, sweet moments. Life is giving every single last one of us. Life is giving me. Set me free.
Bravissimo.
Those fingers.
Wow.
Wow, that's a lot of sound coming out of two people.
Right? Of course, Bert and Aloysius will just have to sign X. There's only 2 of us. Only 4 of us can sign her name.
Music's fun. Good therapy.
Yeah, it feels good. I feel that it's like, is that what the same thing the Holy Spirit is?
Maybe
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
Yeah.
When you get a bunch of people together and they start feeling good, it's like, it's infectious.
Group
It
thing.
is.
Yeah.
As long as they don't
Whenever
start
2 or more
speaking
make
in
out.
tongues, then you're probably on
Or
the right
put fingers
road.
in your butthole.
What?
Yeah, because the nails scrape.
No fingers in
Scary.
the butthole. No,
Yeah.
You gotta
that's
keep your
not
nails
the
trimmed
feel
up,
good
man.
music.
It's strange that you were talking about the tongues.
He's
You're
farmer.
talking
He knows a
about,
little bit about everything.
you were talking about the tongues in the
Yeah.
butthole, and I prefer the
The
tongues.
house. stuff.
Yeah, I've been on put deep.
I never said anything about tongues.
Speaking in tongues, okay, my mind was on something else.
That was a.
I've been to a couple of those churches. I was raised
Yeah.
Southern.
Marcus, you know the one thing I remember from Backwards E?
What's that?
Name is Dogs.
Check this out. This is a true story. Marcus went in, I think, on a bet, pierced his own nipple at the Backwards E, and like,
You did that?
yeah, and somebody noticed he had some white stuff like hanging off of it, and nobody really knew what it was.
Sweet, sweet
So
moments.
he took a nail clippers and clipped
Oh
it,
my God.
and it was a nerve, and he hit the
Oh.
ground. He passed out. Fucking clipped his nerve off his nipple
you?
with the fingernail clippers.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
I wouldn't doubt that I would
Sweet,
do
sweet
that.
moments. Let's start that day over again.
I wouldn't doubt that I would do that.
No, oh, you
What
did
was
it. You did
marriage
it.
of sweet moments and nipple nerves.
Nipple nerves? Yeah.
See,
I don't know how we went into that.
Marcus, is that your brother there?
Huh? Yeah, that's my brother.
That's your brother? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Dude, you said do you live around the corner from here?
Yeah. Yeah, when I messaged you, I was like, I
Yeah.
live around the corner.
Yeah,
I'll
I
be
was
right
just
there. And I was like,
Yeah, I
so
want your
leaving back. Leave.
Here comes
JD
Lucy.
is there. I will be
Oh,
right
you're so
there.
sweet. Lucy's getting excited.
Yeah, I think she thought he was talking to
Here's Marcus with a guitar in his hand, like he's
down, down.
Marcus, you wanna play?
You look like Antonio Banderas there in El Mariachi.
No, that was my brother's guitar with the F holes in it. It's actually really cool. Epiphone.
Did she fart?
No, she just loves that
Oh.
one. She's pretty.
She is.
Yeah,
She's pretty as
that was
hell,
a pretty cool guitar to play with.
Pillow.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
My brother actually bought me a guitar and an amp. He bought me a box amp. Box amps are
Fox?
VOX.
Yeah, Vox.
That's like the
Tubes.
British Invasion tube amps.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he bought me like a rather, yeah, it's pretty heavy. It's a 60 amp. I mean, you could play like the castle with it.
I play the castle with
Because
it.
they're gonna put it through the PA.
That's a badass instrument.
They're gonna put it through the PA.
like with no electric or anything.
I have
Like
a
he,
PI box of direct input.
My
into
brother
forward, yeah.
bought me
Get ready to get a
a box amp, a box
That's a
wah,
condenser.
Yep. Yeah.
And
I've
We
got
got this
that
one
for a
hooked up
while.
too.
Get one.
and
I don't know if that one's
guitar.
hooked up.
And he looked
Sometimes
at me
that's
one
what
day
it's
and he actually messaged me and he said, "Look, Junior, I'm sick of you leaving your shit around here." And he sends me a picture of this stuff and I said, "What the fuck is this? What is this?" And he just said, "I've been making you, ultimately," like he didn't say it online or anything, but he said, "Look, here's this music gear. I've been putting you on stage your whole life and recording you and whatever, so just take this and run with it. And here's a couple slides because I know you like that."
Dude, this sounds like a Bryan Adams song.
Yeah, can we?
That's not a Bryan Adams song.
Is there a shorter
Is it
version of it?
69?
though?
You're not like
It was weird. That's how this was getting into. It was
some
weird.
guy Curtis Lowe doesn't come in at like in
Thanks
the
a
story.
lot. Now I feel Canadian.
All right, so we've got about 4 minutes left in the podcast. I think we should go out on one more song.
Yes. What's that one with a lot of swagger? The other one that you
A lot
did
of
where
swagger.
you were counting down like you're
Damn,
like,
it feels good to be a gangster.
What were some of the words in it?
That would sound really
Lot of
good
swagger.
coming from Jamie.
yeah, I remember a lot of changes in your way. I think it's like 1 minute and 26 seconds or something. I'll find it.
Do you think she knows her songs about how long they are?
No.
I'll find it real quick.
Honeybee, I'm trying to get rid of a don't belong. I got an album. I was gonna, I don't know if there's any podcasts.
Them Birds.
Oh, Them Birds. Yeah, I wrote that one.
I like
in
that
Costa Rica.
Do you want to talk about like how people can find your music or you or
Yeah.
anything before? Like, you should do that.
Got the new album out, and next week it'll be going on a couple different players. Haven't decided which ones yet, but you'll be able
Stitcher,
to-
Spotify, iTunes.
Yeah, maybe
SoundCloud.
I can talk NJ and AJ into helping me get that up there.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. We'll have you back.
Typing.
We'll have you back soon.
Why in the heck is there not a co-op where even if it's $1.50 for a song, a buck of it goes to the artist, and then the
Yeah.
overhead's covered?
There's a big movement towards that. Artists
You know,
get paid more
I mean,
money.
come on.
Do you
We're
guys have
moving
live? Do
in
you
the
guys
right
have people
direction, but
talking
you're right.
live and like commenting while we're talking?
Yes.
Because right now I've got you can find me on Facebook, JENIB, that Folking Girl. It's
Yeah.
www.facebook.com/JENIB music.
You know, you're right. Usually we do monitor to the comments a lot
Yeah,
closer,
but-
but
Right when
I
you guys hit,
I was so blown away by the
watch
music, I
party.
haven't been.
You guys go and like our page, and the first 2 people to comment about this podcast.
Oh, sorry.
First 2 people that comment. That Folking Girl.
I'm better than that.
That's remedial.
First 2 people to comment on our Facebook page I'll get your address and I'll send you a sticker and our new CD. And we were gonna
I'm
do
gonna
something.
comment right now then.
I thought maybe it'd be kind of cool. I don't know.
Here,
I don't know how we could do this,
that.
but we'd really like to do an in-home concert series somewhere in the
Yes,
Bloomington
yes,
area.
we'll have one.
So,
Adam Cole says it looked like Peter, Paul, and Mary.
woohoo!
He says John
Greg
Denver
Paul
looks
says
good.
Greg.
Can I be married?
Roy Rambo says Lucy looks great. Chad McCorder says puff puff pass. Roy Rambo says hello. Terry Quiggin says how's it going. Ophelia Astor says hi. I feel like that's
I wonder if that's
bait.
Sarah.
That's Gypsy
And
Tyler.
Lunatic says picking up lunch right now.
Nice.
So-
Late lunch.
So,
Yeah,
them
it's
birds.
good. Dim Birds. Wrote that when we were in Costa Rica, actually. My husband and I were there for a week. We were there the week that it went all solar powered. One of those
Really?
places I don't want to tell people about again because it's so awesome. Too many
Yeah?
people go there, they're going to ruin it.
Yeah, don't show me.
There were these crazy
Oops.
birds out in the ocean. We watched them all morning while we were drinking our coffee, and they'd go all the way up, and then they'd dive bomb down for fish.
Yeah?
Which is pretty
Oh,
cool.
kingfishers.
Yeah, so that's kind of.
And then they sit in the water and like stretch their wings out like this.
Yeah, they go
So they could dry them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they
Pelican, is
swim.
it a pelican? Is that what? Not
There was pelicans in Florida. I remember how terrifying they were.
No, he's right. They're kingfishers.
Yeah.
Kingfishers?
I think that's what
Okay.
they call
And
it.
then they stretch their wings
Costa
out to like
Rican
dry their feathers
kingfishers.
off so they can fly
That
again.
sounds like a band name.
Yeah.
Costa Rican kingfishers.
Right.
That was actually my nickname in high school.
There's a great big festival going on.
Did you guys know rock salt? would hang out near
You got any sand or rock salt?
I don't know.
Or no,
Rock
river salt, I'm
River
sorry.
salt. Oh, river
Yeah.
salt. Yeah, actually, Will now was there when my baby was born. Will and I were really good friends in high school.
All right, we're going out on this.
Dive bombing in paradise, there birds. Dive bombing in paradise, there birds. Up and down, it must feel so nice. Morning to the sun's fading light. Never having the same thing twice. Mile, 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 take me higher. Mile, 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 take me higher. Mile, 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 take me higher in paradise. Take a dip in the ocean. And nature has a way of healing the soul again. It can smooth out all your ravages. Yes, it can heal you, make you all better again. It can heal you, make you all better again. Mile, mile, take me higher in paradise. It's so nice in paradise. Paradise in paradise. Isn't it so nice? All day long we'll sit by the fish coconut. See, it's you and me, we are loco coconuts. We can now let things flow. We can just sit back and let things flow. Mama, take me higher. Mama, take me higher. Mama, take me higher in paradise. In paradise. Isn't so nice in paradise? Paradise in paradise. Paradise in paradise. Isn't it so nice? Stars so bright you can see all the Orion's belts. The ocean breeze at night, arms will be my rest. We'll slip away our worldly cares. Pockets as light as that ocean's clean air. Pockets as light as that ocean's clean air. Mile, take me higher. Mile, take me higher. Mile, take me higher in paradise. Isn't it so nice in paradise? Dive bombing in paradise. Them birds.
All right, Wow Club Podcast number 133. We're out on that. Thank
Bye,
you
guys.
to Jenny B.
Thanks, AJ and
Hey, that was the best podcast ever.
All right, well done, well done.
Thank you.
Even though the podcast guest was fucking bloody.
You know Well, we always go on the cuff, so it's like,
Yeah. We
Well,
pick
it's
the
like-
right person.
it's like, we'll get here at 5 and just like start not even talking about the podcast. We'll just sit here and talk back and forth and be like, you know,
Yeah.
and if we start talking about something, it's like, this is podcast talk.
The more we plan, the worse it gets.
That's what I
Like, we'll talk about topics, hey, we wanna talk about this, but what we don't wanna do is start saying, hey, this is what I think about that.
Yeah.
Right? Because then we're like, well,
Yeah.
we'll just save that, like, we'll have the banter for
You
the
don't want to give
podcast.
too much of an opinion, is that why you don't want to say
Well,
what you think about
I
it?
think it should seem organic, like, it should seem like a conversation, it shouldn't be
Right.
like,
Can.
right, I already know what you're gonna say, you already know what I'm gonna say.
You know, like Joe Rogan, most successful of all podcasters, has somebody come in and sit down, and then that's when the podcast starts. So we like to keep it a little bit like that. We did plan a little bit of stuff, like I had topics today that we did talk about the moon. We didn't talk about Mattel's new Barbie. It's the astrophysicist.
Yeah,
Barbie.
I
saw
seen
that.
that too, yeah.
You know?
And there's a difference between
And that's
planned and
Barbie.
scripted, like, that's what I wanna avoid, is like scripted, like,
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
don't wanna ever seem like,
Fake.
You're reading the script, yeah.
right.
I wonder if they'll have astronaut transgender Barbie.
They should. We got a huge.
Wouldn't
I got her actually tied up in my bedroom right now.
Yeah, MJ's got her tied up in his bedroom. One of
You know
our
what?
our most frequent guests is actually a chick named Roxy Revolver. It's a transgender porn star.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Roxy
she's a good friend of
Revolver.
mine.
I think I've heard her. I think I've seen
Yeah.
her page before for some reason. That
That's-
seems-
I made
It
that
sounds
joke.
really
I could never
familiar.
date a girl with a dick bigger than mine.
Oh my god.
We're not live, so are we? Oh
Everyone
shit,
got-
we are
Yeah, we're live on YouTube.
on
so-
YouTube still. Yeah, that's great. I love you, Roxy.
That was funny. That was a great ending there. Shoot, I meant to bring you guys this. Oh, I got another car. I told them they needed to start filling this room up, have some with some posters. Like every time they
What do you
have
got?
somebody to
Flyers
play,
from
like,
show, yeah.
yeah.
Well, we still gotta finish some trim and like repaint it, and
I love
that's been like that for like a year, so.
This building has so much character.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so much character.
Although, you know what?
You guys own the whole
I
building?
think
I do, yeah.
all the walls should be torn down. Like that hallway there, you lose so much space. That it should be an open kitchen where there should be like you can pass the stuff through here.
It'd be
Like,
huge.
everything should be open and tear this fucking thing out too. Well, I don't know. This is kind of nice. Let's say open it up. Tear down that Fottergan wall, that Fottergan wall, and that Fottergan wall. Remember Johnny Dangerously? That movie?
My idea originally was like to tear that wall out and then like close up those windows and have like a big projection screen on that
Yeah.
wall, but.
Yeah. And in this corner, you put like one of those hot chicks room.
Yeah.
It's a hot chick's room.
Just a room full of hot chicks.
Oh, with like a pole.
Yeah, there's a pole in there, and there's like a DJ.
Full on a hot chick's room.
That's great.
Dang.
Remember that? It's like
That'll be
Um,
Lucy's room.
the wife. It's like the wife and husband are going through this house, and the real estate agent's like showing the husband. It's like he opens his door. It's like, of course we got the hot chicks room, and it's like shows a bunch of girls and they're dancing, and the wife closes the door. It's like we don't need a hot chicks room, and the guy's like. You said we wouldn't need the microwave, but we use that thing all the time.
So, was that from like New Kids in the
Kids-
Hall?
Kids in the Hall. Kids in the
Olivia
Hall,
caught
yeah.
on fire. Her microwave caught on fire.
Who?
Olivia's my daughter's
Oh, yeah.
apartment.
yeah.
Yeah, I've got this cute little KitchenAid microwave off the curb in my neighborhood. Because I was like, why would somebody throw that away? It's so cute. Well, then it must have had like they knew it had an electrical issue, and it had an electrical fire and caught my daughter's apartment.
Tyler J. Wolf was watching from Mexico, where he's
Don't take it
scuba
from
diving right now. Do you guys know Tyler J. Wolf?
How often does that guy
Scuba
scuba dive?
diving?
I don't think so.
Whenever he
Scuba
wants.
diving.
Heck yeah.
I want to be scuba
Me
diving.
too, right now.
Watch out for sharks, man.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun,
Oh my
dun.
God.
That's water, they already live there.
Punch me.
My kid never really got into that song,
Thank
so.
God.
Here,
And she's
you
just.
know.
We're
Cool
done,
one
yeah.
for me.
Well,
He's
we're still
in his
YouTube
Barbie.
live.
No, I just stopped that.
Yeah, Barney was
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I
my phone's live.
After YouTube.
Don't say that,
Okay.
son.
Yeah, I know.
That's cool as hell.
I've been part of Movie Club for a minute.
That's cool. Thanks, Marcus.
Andrew,
Yeah,
were you a part of Moon Club? You're like, yeah, I've watched that or something. I
As
never
soon
heard
as I
about
saw
it.
it was you guys, I was
Guilty.
like, I have to be a part of it.
There's
So
rock,
like, a lot of
Can
rock
times.
pot going.
You should do a little segment of
Hey.
Yeah,
crazy
there is.
stories
There
from
is.
Nipple
Always.
Pierce Guy.
I can smell it.
Then you don't want to hear that. The world doesn't want to hear my stories.
Well, you have to tell a couple stories.
Yeah.
That's okay. So maybe we'll have you on like next week or the week after or something. You can actually just like be able to sit and bullshit with you.
What I'd like
You should
to
just have
really,
him tell
what
one
I'd-
crazy ass story.
That's
what I'd really
all
like
this is.
what I'd really like to talk about
No.
is Epiphany Farms Hospitality Group. We are.
You work at Epiphany Farms now?
Yeah, see the hat?
Oh, that's awesome.
Did you notice the hat?
That's the number one. That's the most passionate people about food in McLean County.
Do you know
Yeah, we
Philip
just
Butters?
won the #1 prize in McLean
Without a doubt,
County.
without a
big
doubt.
Gala thingy.
Dude, you know what my two favorite things in this world are? Pizza and sushi.
Mhm.
Forget
Oh,
about it.
and we have just gotten so many kudos from so many like integrated farmers and this and that, like, and we're getting ready to sell one of our properties that's
So you guys are promoting the farm, was it fork to plate?
Farm to fork.
Farm to fork movement.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
you know what?
so we're
It's-
trying to
it's
so
amazing
what we're
food.
trying to do is like the whole restaurant system
Mm-hmm.
and everything is just like flawed.
It's broke. I would
And
say the same with our
it's wrong.
educational system, but you're right.
But we
Lots of.
but what
lots
we
of
do is
Yeah, we got a lot of teachers that
And
love kids
also-
and really wanna help kids. but
alright,
we have a
it's
system
flawed.
that's screwed.
Right.
so therefore you can get much more nutritious food and whatnot and bring it to your community,
Mm-hmm.
and then those people come into your community, you know, like we have our restaurants, and you eat nutritious food that's local.
You know what this is? It may sound strange, but this is technology. It's like we can serve restaurants with stuff that's grown within 2 miles of the place. You know what I mean? And it is technology because we're advancing our knowledge of food
Well,
and the way we present it to people.
Right, but
It's
we're
actually going back
reversing
about
how
100
things,
years.
we're
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah, because
reversing
it
how
used to be
the
supplied as much as possible.
system has been set
I
up,
didn't know what
where
a
like
banana
you
was
get
till
40
40 years ago.
trucked into you
More
from
than 40 now.
100 miles away or whatever.
Yeah,
Now,
cans.
we just grew it over there,
Yeah.
and like there's 15 dudes running in 3
I think
times
it's
a
beautiful,
day.
dude. I
You
think
grew
it's
it there,
dropping
and
off-
now we're eating it here.
And
And
I
it's
think
like
it's the
the
real
12
deal,
blocks away.
and I can tell you're very proud about it. We should do a whole podcast about
But then
this movement.
next thing you know, you've got these guys that are
Hey,
chefs.
Austin, not in here.
Okay.
Cassie's gonna be coming like 30 minutes.
All right.
There's chefs that are like preparing these meals in the most. I work with chefs that have worked at the MGM Grand. Those are the people.
Yeah, that's
that
cool.
are-
He was actually on
they're-
the cooking contest. Your chef at that
oh
place?
yeah, Chef Sue.
He was on like Top Chef, right?
He did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's done a bunch.
And his
of
wife
stuff.
was on a cooking show too. So this is the real deal. I mean,
Yeah, like our whole company is about like just.
do you guys know about Epiphany Farms? MJ, do you know about them? They have their
I've
own
been there
farm
many
where they
times,
grow their
yeah.
protein.
No, I get it, yeah.
Yeah.
We grow.
You know
our own-
Philip Butters? His name's
Yeah,
Philip. What do we
Butters.
call him, Butters?
I
Yeah.
know Butters.
Yeah, yeah,
Everybody calls him
Yeah.
Butters.
And
Yeah.
he hangs out at Mugsy's.
He used to work at Bugsy's, but he works at Epiphany Farms now.
Really?
He's a good kid.
No, he's cool. I've worked with him many hours.
Yep.
That guy sat there and did dishes with me, and I'll tell you what, this is the kind of company that I'll tell you what,
The owner
Hey,
of that
well,
washes dishes with you,
the
huh?
owner
Yeah, I
the
knew it. I knew
owner
it.
will
Who is the owner of all these?
the owner of Epiphany Farms is actually Ken Mishka, Nana Mishka, which is his wife, and Chef Sue Hummel, and then now Chef Martine has advanced to executive chef, and we just put in like I don't even know how many thousands of dollars, like a new kitchen, a new 40-foot freezer, and cooling unit put on the back of the building.
No shit.
Like you walk in to the cooler, and that's the cooler. They got all their product. And
We call it a
whatever.
walk-in.
Yeah, it's a walk-in. But
That's
you
the word
walk-
on the street.
You walk in there, but then
Down the farm.
you walk
Thank you,
through it.
Jenny.
You walk
Oh,
through
actually,
it,
it's
and then
closed
you walk
Yeah.
into,
Not going
and then you go into another door, and there's the actual freezer. And we have half pigs
Oh,
ready to be cut up, just hanging there. And like, and there are pigs. We grow them.
Yeah, I know.
We
I know.
raise them all. We compost everything. Just like Chef Stu says. He says we recycle everything.
Yeah, they feed them Krispy
Including-
Kreme
They
donuts.
use everything, don't they?
Including, reduce, reuse, recycle. And if you don't recycle something,
You're wrong.
they will be all up in your ass.
Well, you know what? I think they're just, it's like they're totally positive. They're not going to be like firing people over that, but it's like, let's all move in the right direction. Let's all move
Yeah,
towards this.
they're all about positivity and like